evening, everybody. Welcome to another great LTS show. I am your host, Bodkins. Welcome. Don't know if we nailed that intro or not. Someday, one day we will. But hey, it is what it is. Man, it is Thursday. We got a packed show for you. We got our AFC East preview show ahead coming this way in just a little bit. The lovely old man Keith Engle will be joining us here in just a little while, so can't wait to talk to him. I mean, this show's already got a lot of AFC East. Johnny's the Dolphins, Scott's a Patriots, Keith is also a Patriots. You could say I am turning into a Jets guy with the fact that my guy Aaron's on there, so I'm excited to talk about this division. We'll see if this is the best division in football. It's being touted as. 365 days ago, the AFC West was. We saw what happened to that. We also got a little college football going on right now. So we'll see. I put 6.5 on Florida here, and it's they're not doing so hot. So, hey, we'll see. Come on, Gators. So, anyway, folks, let's go ahead and bring in the guys. We got to talk a little bit of new stuff, before we break into the AFC East. Johnny, what's up, my man?
What's up, man? Thank you for the intro, even though I've lost a little bit of respect for you saying that you're on the Jets now. But I still love you, though. It's all good. But
I gotta rock with my guy AR8 now.
I know. You can ride with Aaron all you want, man. Just don't be riding with the Jets, bro. That's all good. You can want him to do well without the team doing well.
I want them to do well, because if they're doing well, he's doing well. And it really helps my team the more he plays and the more they do well. So there's that,
I got you. It's all good, Johnny, man. Looking forward to this show, man. We're going to have some fun.
I got to ask you, I want to ask you some baseball questions real fast. I don't know if you saw the Angels gone as Giolito, a guy they just traded for. They waived 3 people. Your Yankees waive Harrison Bader and Josh Donaldson. Which moves kind of surprised you? Donaldson goes to the Brewers. Bader and Renfroe and all the pitchers go to the Reds. So which move surprised you there?
The Bader one was kind of surprising because he was young, and there was actually talk about a possible extension for him earlier in the season. But they're going with the youth movement, which I love, and I mentioned it several months ago. Right before Aaron got hurt, that I was iffy about the team, and then especially once he got hurt, in my opinion, it was like, we just signed him to a 9-year deal. Don't push him to get back. Let's see what these young kids got. I never liked the Josh Donaldson trade. That was just a waste of $50 million. So I wasn't surprised by that. I was a little surprised by the Harrison Bader thing, but with all the young kids that they're bringing up, including Jason Dominguez, the Martian, is going to be up tomorrow. He's an outfielder. He'll probably play some center, so I'm looking forward to that. I've been waiting for this youth movement to happen all year, so I'm excited for it.
And we're going to be covering your Dolphins along with the rest of this division tonight. This is the last division before, we're 7 days away from NFL season kickoff.
It's awesome, man. It got here pretty quick, even though it felt slow at times. But I couldn't be happier, man. The NFL season is upon us. Like you mentioned, we got some college football going on. It actually started last week with week 0, I guess they call it, or whatever. But the first college football game is on tonight, and like you said, a week from tonight, we get the opening night of the NFL, the 2023 NFL season. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun season. A lot of drama going on, man. You know what I'm saying? The AFC is going to be tough. Who steps up in the NFC? We've talked about this before. I actually like your Packers' chances. I don't know about winning the division, but I think they can hold on to a wild card spot or something. But then again, it's the Detroit Lions, so they very well could win the division. And I think that lucky the horseshoe fell out of Minnesota's ass, so I don't see them winning those 1-score games like they did last year. So. I think your division is honestly up for grabs, man. I know everybody's on Detroit, but I wouldn't look past what Justin Fields can do with the Bears and what Jordan Love can do with your Packers, man.
Yeah, is this the AFC though? Is this the best division right now on paper, you think?
I mean, on paper, but that don't mean shit. Like you mentioned, we just talked. The AFC West was the talk of the town all of last year. And then you saw what happened with Denver and the Raiders, and then the Chargers were okay, but they the Chargers pulled the Chargers and showed their true colors when they got to the playoff game against Jacksonville. So on paper, I would say yes, because I think a lot of people are sleeping on New England too. As much as we mess with Scott about his Patriots, you're still talking about possibly the greatest head coach ever. So that defense is going to come ready to play, and I think the Bill O'Brien hire is going to help Mac Jones out a lot. Do I expect them to win a division? No. But as far as the top three, I think any one of them, I think it could finish with any one of them being first, second, or third as far as the Jets, Bills, and Dolphins.
Yeah. Speaking of Scott, we'll go ahead and bring in our own Mr. Hall of Famer, Scott Cobe.
What up,
guys? What up?
Scott, how's it going this evening? First of all, who is the backup now, the Patriots quarterbacks? Because they cut Zappe, they cut everybody yesterday. But it looks
I think it's Alan. Isn't it Alan Perales? I think
Alan Perales. Yeah. They re-signed Zappe today. Back the squad, so he is legitimate. He is the backup. He had 7, from what I read today. He had 7 offers, and didn't take one of them to sign back on the practice squad here in New England. Stupid move, but
he knows he could win that job. That's why.
Yeah, that's probably. I think Mac Jones is out after next year. To be honest with you, I think Belichick is not a Mac Jones guy, so I think he thinks Bailey Zappi thinks he can take the starting job back over again, and I don't think so. I don't think so. No.
And we'll talk more Patriots here in a minute. Scott, who do we bet on tonight, and how we looking like?
Well, baseball for me is basically over. So I took Florida with you. I took the under the points, and I took Minnesota, Nebraska under 44, and it's 3-0 right now, late in the second quarter. So those are the bets I made for tonight. This weekend, I got Ohio State -30, Alabama -39. So those games. Alabama hasn't lost a season opener at home against the spread in 9 years.
Yeah, this is the first time Florida has gone out of the state of Florida for a non-conference game since 1991. Yep. Like how
that's wild, bro. That's wild.
It's wild. Completely wild. I don't understand why they haven't gone out of state to play a non-conference game.
Because they want a cupcake. They want that cupcake the first week. It's a scrimmage, basically.
Yeah, but you know what? You in a game like this that you can win because the Utah starting quarterback is out tonight. Utah starting tight end and their best offensive player is out tonight. So they have a serious chance to win this game. And right now they're down 14-3, and Utah's at their 40-yard line, right at Florida's 40-yard line, and driving again.
If Utah scores a touchdown here, it might be over.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. So, So I don't know why Florida doesn't go out of state. They're a top.
They didn't have Scott because they could pay small schools to come there or whatever. Back when you're a powerhouse and you're playing for national champions, now it's Utah. We got to go to number 14 Utah to try to win. We can make show that maybe the Gators are back. But man, I don't know if you guys watched any of that Netflix documentary, The Swamp Kings, on Netflix about Tebow and in the Urban Meyer era. That documentary is pretty darn good. I don't know if you guys caught any of that.
No, I haven't checked it out. My wife is a Gator fan, and she said it's a really good show. So it's something I definitely do want to check out. I haven't checked it out yet, though.
And the other thing is Aaron Hernandez, who used to be up here, was a Florida Gator, and there was wild stuff that went on when he was down there. Mm-hmm. Stuff that Urban Meyer had to cover up to get him to play football.
I wish the documentary talked a little bit about that stuff. They don't go into any of the bad stuff, like the bad off the field stuff, right? I mean, a little bit they do, but there's no mention really of the Pouncey twins. Like I would have loved to hear from them. I would have loved to hear about the Aaron Hernandez stuff. Even Cam Newton, Cam Newton got kicked off the team for the, most part. Like in that documentary, there's not any of that kind of talk, and I wish there was. But I mean, there's still some wild stuff in there, and it's a good documentary. It's a 2-part series. I think it's probably altogether 4 hours. Touchdown, Utah. Oh, he just
no
missed
touchdown. He just missed it. Just missed it.
Yeah, missed it. He was wide open. He puts it on the money. It's a touchdown.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, I'm a little behind you guys on the stream, so don't
oh, okay, sorry.
I just saw it though. It's all good.
Yeah, I mean it's a walk-in if he puts it on the numbers. Anyway, let's go ahead and bring in Sam.
Sam, how you doing, Sam?
Oklahoma, where the wind blows merrily on the. That's all I can come up with at short notice.
Sam, it looks like the Titans finally got their kicker in a trade.
Supposedly, let's take it easy. It hasn't been a week yet. Let's just.
Where's that kicker? Where's that kicker from?
He's from one of the leavings of the Patriots. Yeah.
Oh, he'll be cut in 3 weeks because
another man's trash is another man's treasure, right?
I mean, kickers recycle like I recycle my underwear. You know what I mean? So
it's so funny to me.
That's what
so
once
funny.
a month.
Every other coach,
yeah.
Every other coach in Titans history has had like great kickers. Vrabel gets in here, he ups the level of play, and we've gone through 10 kickers since his tenure. Think about that. It's his 6th year. We have gone through 10 freaking kickers. Unbelievable.
He had 4 kickers in camp, and he cut 3 of them, and then he just traded.
I know.
It's like it's crazy.
I don't know if you guys know this, but it's actually starting to become a league problem. There's not a lot of good kickers coming out. They all kick really low. It's very blockable.
So the Patriots traded Folk for this kicker
for a 7th.
And they have a rookie kicker now, and I don't know if this rookie kicker has kicked more than 3 balls in preseason games. So
we also
and we'll get into
the Browns kicker, Cade York, I think.
Cade York,
yeah.
He's going to do kickoffs. It looks like Nick Folk can't really.
The year after the Browns drafted. We'll get into some more of the NFL news, but we'll go ahead. We don't want to keep our guests waiting any longer.
Yeah, he might fall asleep.
He'll probably fall asleep. It's late there. I hope he took his. Scott, can you confirm whether he took his afternoon nap at the nursing home?
Scott, just reach over and hit the wall. Come on, Keith.
I can confirm Keith did take his nap today. He can verify it when he comes on. So,
all right, sure. We'll give it up for host of TGI Sports, live from Dansbury, Massachusetts nursing home. Scott's, arch rival in the nursing home, Mr. Keith Engle, baby.
Yeah.
What's going on, Keith? Oh my God.
Thanks so much. And Scott did steal my Jell-O tonight. That's the only reason
He had my Jell-O. It's real for the OG gangsters. It gets real.
Everybody knows.
Can you set the record straight? Can you set the record straight? Scott says he owns your ass in chess, and he beats your ass at least 3 times a week. Can you set the record straight? Who's the chess champion there at the nursing home?
Well, the big problem is he thinks we're playing chess. We're playing checkers. He doesn't even know. So I'll let you
know. So that's why he always wins.
I'm very confused why the chessboard looks like a checkers board. So
he just spins the board around when you're not looking. Yeah.
Listen, Nick, you better be nice to us. You got 2 Patriots fans in the room now, so you're on the show.
Yeah, so. Keith, I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask you guys before we jump into it. Keith, I'll start with you. Is this the best division in football, at least on paper?
On paper, Johnny said it last year we all thought it was the West. Actually, I thought the West would be not as good because of Denver last year, and I actually was right for a change there. I think any one of these teams can finish first. Any one of these teams can finish last. I really believe that, and I think we got to see this play out. But I really think this is the best division right now in football. We'll see how it plays out.
You can make a case to me for the AFC North division. I think top to bottom, I think those 4 teams are almost might be just as good.
And I'm not a big Cleveland fan, so we'll see how that works out. But
yeah,
what they do,
I guess it would depend on how what Deshaun Watson we get. You know what I'm saying? If Deshaun Watson is Deshaun Watson, if Pickett actually takes another step. You know what I'm saying? Then it would be interesting to see because Mike Tomlin's going to have that Steelers team ready. Is Lamar going to actually be able to play with these wide receivers and actually get them the ball? The North, I can see that.
What about you, Scott? Is this the best division in football to you?
I think it is. I really do. As Keith said, anybody can finish first. Anybody can finish last. You know, they say the Patriots are going to finish last. Do not count on Bill Belichick coach team. He will come up with something this year that will cause teams problems. So
keep underselling this team. I'm telling you right now, don't.
Yeah,
you're going to be surprised.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, 2 years ago they made the playoffs. I think you know what I mean. Like that's what we have to remember. Just 2 years ago with when Mac Jones was a rookie, they made the playoffs. So
Bill O'Brien's worth 2 wins. They should have won 10 games last year. They should have won 10 games. They didn't. I understand that. You know, you can't go back and look in hindsight, but they gave away, 3 or 4 games last year. So,
and don't forget, the Patriots were Jacoby Myers thrown lateral pass and 2 or 3 Nyheim Hines kickoff returns for touchdowns from going to the playoffs. So they had a chance last week of the season. If they beat Buffalo, they were in. So
even with this missteps before that, yes.
Can I talk now, Scott? Is that okay?
go ahead.
You're fine. You're fine. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah.
I'll never be welcome back again.
It is definitely a very intriguing division. I'm kind of with you. The AFC North, Nick, is kind of where I think is probably going to be really competitive. But this one is intriguing because I can't pinpoint the Dolphins no matter how hard I try. I think I know where the Patriots are, but I don't turn my back on Bill Belichick ever. And, it's just this whole division is so crazy. The Bills are on top most likely, but we don't know how they've recovered from the offseason debacle. And then you've got the resurgent Jets, who we had talked about the entire time. All you needed was a quarterback. And who they get? Why, a certified Hall of Famer. So, it's an intriguing division. And I have to make this very clear. I think Scott should make a bet tonight about his Patriots. And if he's wrong, he has to do the Hulkmania handlebar mustache. Because look at that black mustache right there. Look at it. Come on.
I'm very realistic.
No chance.
Come on, fam.
I'm very realistic.
Nick, nobody's taking bets but me. I have to drink 2 Levis specials if 2 things go wrong for me. Nobody else is taking bets.
I'll take
There's 2 right things. There's 2 right things. There's 2 right things.
Keith's getting down. What's up, Keith?
I'll take the bet, Sam, but it's going to take me till I'm about 110 to grow that mustache.
Well, that's only 2 years away. That's only 2 years away, Keith. You got it. We'll go ahead and we'll jump right into it. This is how we do. We like to play the game. They'll win the division if, and they won't to win the division if. And we'll start off with the Buffalo Bills, who they've won the division now 3 times in the last 3 years here. I'm scrolling up here on my computer. So in comes Damian Harris, Latavius Murray, Trent Sheffield. Out is Case Keenum, Devin Singletary, Cole Beasley, Jamison Crowder, Isaiah McKenzie. Also, they brought in the pass rusher Leonard Floyd. They had Ampuna Ford. They had a good draft class. They small draft class, but the big tight end Colton Kincaid. Then they go offensive guard and Osiris Torrance, Dorian Williams. They're obviously missing their linebacker who went to the Bears as well. I don't know if Tremaine Edmonds is gone as well, so that's a big loss. But Keith, the Bills win this division if what?
Bills win this division if Cook runs for 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns, let's say, and they can keep Josh Allen upright, and Von Miller plays, 12 games, counting the playoffs.
Yeah, he's on the PUP list. He'll miss the first 4 games. Not that matters, but they don't win this division if what then?
Josh Miller continues to play reckless football or with the football, and they don't run the ball better, and the offensive line is no better than it was last year. And of course, Von Miller, plays a handful of games.
Sam, we'll go to you here. The Bills win the division if what?
The Bills win the division if Josh Allen just keeps on this trek of upwardly getting better. They lose the division if they reach the playoffs and Josh Allen disappears. That's what happened last year. I think that's what the problem is, except for that one year where they just ran out of scoring touchdowns against the Chiefs in overtime. Other than that, he's had a hard time in the offseason, especially last year.
Scott?
The Bills win the division if Josh Allen shakes off what he did at the end of the year and becomes the quarterback, the pocket passer that he should be. And I agree with Keith. If James Cook runs wild, they win the division also. They lose the division if Josh Allen is the same quarterback as he was at the end of last year with the elbow problem. Is he doesn't consistently throw the deep ball, and he doesn't throw it on pinpoint on accuracy. And if the Stephon Diggs stuff festers and continues to grow and grow and grow.
Johnny, what about you?
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback with both of them as far as the being able to run the ball. They have to have some kind of balance in this offense. It can't just be strictly on Josh Allen to throw the ball 40 plus times a game. If they can establish a running game, and I love James Cook, I think he's a really good player. I think he has an opportunity to be a really, really good player. If they can actually have balance in that offense and run the ball, take some pressure off of Josh Allen, I think they win the division. They don't win a division if that drama that was going on during the offseason actually, if they get off to a slow start, there could be problems in Buffalo, especially with the way Stephon Diggs has been acting. But even bigger than that, I think the defense is going to have to make some plays, make some stops. Keith mentioned Von Miller, but I think just overall the whole defense is going to have to play better. And again, they have to establish some type of running attack. They have to have some kind of balance, or they're not going to win the division.
Yeah, I think the Bills win this division if they have a well-balanced offensive attack. If Cook is close to 1,000 yards, or Damian, if even with Damian Harris there, if they're both close to 1,000 yards rushing, if Josh Allen doesn't have to run all over the field, and they have a well-balanced, and if Kincaid is if they do with what they're saying with Kincaid, like putting him in the slot and things like that, and he can become that almost second option outside of Diggs. Like they didn't really have that. Everybody keyed on Gabriel Davis and said like he's going to be this huge star, and he just never was that number 2 option really last year. I felt like they lose this division if Leslie Frazier was the real reason that defense was really good, because Leslie Frazier's gone. And now their coach is going to be coaching the defensive coordinator. It's now going to be the DC. He used to do that in Carolina. Here's the thing, though. That 13 seconds and all that in Kansas City, he was the one calling the plays then. So is he going to be calling – with him calling the defensive plays now, it's going to be real interesting because Leslie Frazier just left for some odd reason and didn't really have a reason. And he held that defense. That defense was really good. So if he was the reason that defense was good, they're not going to win the division because their coach, sometimes when you got to do 2 jobs, you're not great at one.
I said on the morning show this morning, there's added extra pressure on Josh Allen to get Stephon Diggs the ball early and often, to not have all this Stephon Diggs drama bubble up during the game. So Josh Allen has a lot of pressure on him this year to get that ball to Diggs early and often in games.
See, that's a bad sign. That's a bad sign when that's the mentality you have to have, that you got to get this guy the ball early and often, or he's going to completely disappear from the game plan. I don't know, man.
He's going to lose interest in the game.
He shouldn't voice it the way he has, but Stephon Diggs is not wrong that the window is closing on the Bills. The pressure is on that team and the coaching staff because the window is closing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, as they consist. Now, obviously, Josh Allen's got a long career ahead of him. He's still relatively young, but a couple of those guys, Diggs isn't. He's been in the league for a while now. Time is ticking on the wide receivers. Time is ticking on Von Miller. Time is ticking on Micah Hyde, and a couple of those other guys. So, like, time is of the essence for this Bills team before they almost have to, read. They'll always, I think, kind of have a window with Josh Allen there,
right?
But eventually. How long will that be? You know what I mean? Like the window will close and they'll have to redo some things. So, but we'll find out. There's so much drama. I think there's a lot of drama there in the Bills, and that's never good for a football team when you're talking off the field stuff, with guys, fighting and things like that. Let's get into Johnny's Dolphins. They finished second and broke their playoff curse, and they gave everything the Bills could handle in that playoff game last year. The Dolphins went 9-8. Remember, they had, I think Keith said it was a field goal that got them in. So for the additions for the Dolphins, they bring in Mike White, Braxton Berrios, Tyler Kroft, Isaiah Wynn. Obviously, they make the big trade for the corner Jalen Ramsey, Deshaun Elliott, David Long. Out is Byron Jones, Eric Rowe. Let's see, Greg Little, Hunter Long, Mike Gesicki, Trent Sheffield, and Teddy Bridgewater. They only had 4 picks in the draft. Obviously, they lost the first pick because the owner was doing some shady shit. But then they take Cam Smith in the second, Devon Achane in the third, Elijah Higgins in the sixth, and then Ryan Hayes in the seventh. Keith, the Dolphins win this division if what?
If Tua, keeps upright, doesn't miss games with concussions or any other injuries, is the only way the Dolphins win this division. I've heard Mike White brought up a lot as well. They brought in a capable backup. Well, he can't stay on the field either when he gets on it either. So this team quarterback situation is imperative to, like any teams, I guess, but more so here. Tua is a good player, but he's got to stay on the field. And I think I'm going to leave it at that because this is a very good football team. I think they're going to finish last because I don't think Tua is staying on the field.
You don't got to give us our predictions yet, Scott, Keith. We make our predictions later. So they don't win this division if what?
I got excited. They don't win this division?
Hang tight, Johnny. Hang tight, bud. It's going to be a long night.
If Mike McDaniel continues to feel like he reinvented the game, and again, if he can't keep Tua, can't protect his quarterback, he's not going to win the division. Not a big Mike McDaniel fan.
Johnny, we'll start with you.
I don't like
Johnny. I'll give you the option. You want to go first? Johnny,
I'll go last. I'll go last. Let me take all the shots. Let me take all the shots now. I'll go last.
All right. Go ahead, Scott.
By the way, I did bet Utah, and Utah's up 17-3. By the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got the game.
Florida.
The Dolphins win the division. I agree with Keith. The Dolphins win the division if Tua stays and plays 14 games or more. And they can run their running game, who's oft injured as well with Wilson and Mostert, can stay healthy and run the ball effectively and take some pressure off Tua. They don't win the division if Tua plays less than 14 games and their running game is injured, oft injured, because if Wilson and Mostert are injured, it's the Salvan Ahmed show. So,
go ahead.
Tell Mrs. First Down to stop with all her sneaky, comments here under the name Quick Tipster there.
Stop me! I don't know who it is. Heaven forbid I get good press.
Sam, go ahead. We'll go to you here. The Dolphins win this division if what?
She's never been a quick tipster, I'll tell you that. Anyway, so the Dolphins.
He calls you Mr. Quickie though.
Yeah, I'm more of the quick tipster. You know what I'm saying? Have a good night, folks. Anyway,
you get the tip in, and that's it.
I'm sharing this one. Yeah. So
she has to say that, bro.
Yeah, she has to. No, if you met her, she doesn't. She does not. Anyway, so they win the division if Tua truly hangs in there and stays healthy. I think that's what it's going to come down to, because I don't think Mike White's going to be the guy either. Hold on, Benjamin. I'm coming, baby. Anyway, they lose the division if they just wow, what's going on? It's a Karen. So they lose the division if their defense just totally folds, is how I see it. If they can't stop anybody, they're in a division with looks like that's going to be some pretty high caliber quarterbacks and Aaron Rodgers and Josh Allen. If the defense folds, they'll never take the division. And I think they have to take the division because the wild card spots are going to be eaten up by some other teams.
Fair. All right, Johnny. Sam goes and tends to.
Well, I'm gonna stay away from the low hanging fruit because obviously, I mean, if anybody's quarterback gets hurt, they're gonna be out of it. So obviously, Tua staying healthy is the main key to it. But I think it's all about Mike McDaniel and having balance in that offense. He admitted at the end of the season that he abandoned the run way too early, and so hopefully. He learns from that. People need to remember he was a rookie head coach last year, so he was learning on the fly. We still got to the playoffs, and he almost got Skylar Thompson, a 7th-round pick, to beat Buffalo in Buffalo. So I like my coach. I think he's going to learn from what the mistakes he made last year. Again, the obvious is Tua, but I think if we have a balanced attack, if we can actually run the ball and show teams that we can run the ball, then that just makes it that much better for Tua and for the speedy wide receivers. And Tyreek and Waddle on the outside. And look out for Braxton Berrios. I think he's going to have a really good year in that slot. Yeah. They don't win a division. Again, I'm going to stay away from the obvious to it, but like I'm with Sam. If that defense doesn't step up, which I anticipated will with the hiring of Vic Fangio, it sucks that we lost Jalen Ramsey right away, but he should be coming back sometime in December. But if the defense plays
I forgot about that.
If the defense plays top 10, top 12 defense, and Tua stays healthy, not only can we win the division, but like I said, I joked with Tanner about it before, but I'm true to it. If Tua stays healthy all year, then we'll be playing Kansas City in the title game.
And
if that's big, Johnny, that's a big if though. That's a big if. Like,
of course, it's a big if. But if
I shoot out $100, I'm $100 richer. That's how big if.
Okay, so what happens to the Jets if Aaron Rodgers gets hurt?
I tell you guys that we say this all the time. That's every team.
It's every quarterback. Now, I know Tua has the history, but he's done everything he possibly can do in the offseason to put him in a better position. And again, I think the coach can help him if he actually runs the – because we were running all over Buffalo in that playoff game. And then he just kind of abandoned the run.
My question is this. Hold on, Scott. My question is this. Oh, he's doing things in the offseason. Well, what the hell was he doing the last 3 fucking off seasons then?
Well, he was recovering from.
Why wasn't he getting his body ready then?
He was rehabbing his first couple years from that hip injury. You know what I'm saying? And then last year, it was all about trying to get his core stronger so that way he can last the whole year. And then now he bulked up a little bit. And I know people joke about the whole jiu-jitsu thing and whatever, but you know what? If you see him getting pushed and knocked down now, he's rolling around and getting right back up as opposed to just falling straight back on his head. So again, I give the kid credit for doing whatever he can to help him, be better, including changing the helmet and doing all that. But the team is going to have to help him. Mike McDaniel is going to have to help him, like I said, by making sure they stick to the running game and have more of a balanced attack. I know he gets a little happy because you got Tyreek and Waddle out there, so you want to throw the ball as much as possible. But if Raheem Mostert is 2 years removed from his injury, so he should be good. I love the drafting of Devon A-Chain. And like I said, I think Barrios is going to have a big year. But if they can have a balanced attack, if they can actually have a run be part of the RPO, then I think they have a chance to win a lot of games next year.
So I'll ask Keith. I'll ask before you go, Nick. I'll ask Keith this, and I'll ask Johnny.
Yeah,
I went on it last year that the Dolphins defense did not play that badly in that playoff game. They returned two touchdowns.
No, they sure didn't.
They played really well in that playoff game, even though they gave up 30-something points.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I think they played really well, and I think they could build on it. So I think the defense is going to be fine.
I agree. And I got a problem with coach. Johnny said he likes his head coach. He really likes his head coach, but he just ripped him about 3 times in his
well, because I said he needs to learn from the mistakes that he made last year. You know what I mean? If he's still going to be stubborn and not stick to the run, I mean, he was supposed to be this whole run game coordinator coming out of San Francisco. And again, I understand falling in love with Tyreek and Waddle on the outside, but
when you got 2 Ferraris on the outside, you don't want to take the.
I get it, but when that engine is possibly can overheat, you gotta, you know what I'm saying, you gotta do some other things to kind of help take some pressure off of him.
He strikes me as a guy who likes to think he's the smartest guy in the room all the time. That's what my problem is with Mike McDaniel.
Yeah.
He strikes me as a guy. He strikes me as a guy that looks like he gets his lunch money taken in high school.
There is that.
I'm sure he did. but how did it work out for him though?
Pretty well, I guess.
He's got a lot more lunch money to be taken now, is what he's got.
Yes,
I'll say this: the Dolphins do win this division if they have a counterbalance and Tua finally stay. The thing of it is, Johnny, is like, yeah, that's I say no matter what team, if your starting quarterback goes out, your season is for the most part, very rare, most of the time, 90% of the time is over. The very few Kurt Warners, Brock Purdy's are stepping in and winning a lot of. You're back up for a reason most of the time. So I will say that, but. He is since college has proven that he can't stay healthy. And they didn't do him any favors by trying to throw the ball out. They didn't do him any favors by 1 week in Buffalo. In the Buffalo game, he gets hurt, and then he's back on Monday night, and he looks like he's dead, and then they still throw him back out there 2 weeks later. Take your time. Take your time with him.
Right. Yeah. That's fair. I get it. You know what I'm saying? That was my fear when he got drafted, was the fact that he had gotten injured every year in college. So, I mean, that's always going to be the what if with Tua. So, but I'm going to be positive, and I'm going to say that
until proven otherwise, right? 14, until proven otherwise.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, we said the same last year. I sat here and I said, I don't trust Jalen Hurts. I don't trust Geno Smith until proven otherwise. Guess what? They went out and proved me fucking wrong last year and took their teams to the playoffs. They proved that they can get better. So now it's Tua's time. He is probably got the most pressure on him outside of maybe Aaron Rodgers in the league right now at the quarterback position, because he's got all the weapons. Can he prove it to stay healthy? And get this team to the division. And if Vic Fangio, Vic Fangio is one of the best defensive coordinators in the last 15 years, folks. Like, and the Dolphins got him. And you look at his track record, Bears. When the Bears were shitty, they had that. He was coaching that defense really good. The 49ers, when they were going to the Super Bowls and things like that, like, he's always had a top 10 defense. So. They're going to miss Jalen Ramsey, but they don't win this division if Mike McDaniels thinks he's the smartest guy in the room and don't have and they don't do, run the football. And they try to throw it 900 freaking times, and too many times. Nobody can do that at that. And it doesn't really matter who's back there at quarterback, whether you got an injury prone guy, a guy going back 900 times a game and trying to get sacked. The chances are he's going to get sacked and get hit. That's too many hits on the body for any quarterback, much less a guy who's been placed as injury prone as Tua.
Right. The thing we're probably going to see Skylar Thompson at some point this year.
Well, I got it. If that's the case, then that's not. Yeah. Let's get into Scott's and Keith's Patriots. Missed the playoffs by a game, 8-9. And their draft, we'll go into the additions here. Their additions are Trace McSorley, Juju Smith-Schuster, Mike Gesicki, Chris Board, Riley Reif, and Calvin Anderson. Gone are the days of Jacoby Myers, Nelson Aguilar, Jonnu Smith. I felt like 2 years ago, those guys were like big signings. Devin McCourty's gone. Isaiah Wynn's gone. And then their draft class, typical Patriots draft class. A bunch of dudes you never really heard of. Christian Gonzalez, Keon White, Martin Mapu, Jake Andrews, Sidney Sow, Monto Maffey, and Kayshawn Boodle. Keith, your Patriots reclaimed glory here, if what?
Well, we'll stick with the quarterback theme, but it won't be injuries. If Mac Jones returns to his form, which I have no doubt Bill O'Brien will do, he's got a real quarterback. He's got a real offensive coordinator and a quarterback coach, basically, to go bring out his frustrations to and not have as many frustrations. Last year's experiment was ridiculous. I do see Mac Jones returning to his form from 2 years ago, and Rashondre Stevenson becoming a top 5 running back in this league, by the way. He continues that upward climb, and the defense plays up to their capabilities. This team wins the division.
They don't win the division if what? Yeah.
Mac Jones plays like he played last year. Season over. If the rookies don't step up, because they did draft, they got some rookie wide receivers, as you mentioned, both made the team, Pop Douglas and Butte, and some young cornerbacks. If they don't step up and play the way they need to, but mostly Mac Jones. If he does not fix the problems he had last year, this team will not.
Some of that wasn't on Mac though, right, Keith? Some of that's got to be on Bill. What the hell was Bill thinking? Can we
Yeah, you're right. It wasn't all on Mac. Mac didn't play well, but it's not all on him. Bill, I don't know what he's thinking because, and I've said this a lot of times, the Patriots throughout that dynasty, one of the things that was a key mark of that team was putting guys in position to succeed. Play to their strengths all the time. And he got away from that with 2 coaches who had no offensive experience and were very good coaches on special teams and defense between the 2 of them. And he throws them into a situation and says, well, good coaches can coach any position. I don't know what he was thinking. He should have been out with Scott and I that night taking the right medications, and he wasn't. And he still hasn't said he was wrong, by the way. And I'm a big Belichick supporter. He still hasn't said he made a mistake.
He never will. He never will.
The closest he's come to saying that he was disappointed at the end. He said in the last year he was disappointed in the offense. That's as close as he's come to saying I made a mistake.
Exactly. And I will tell you, I feel bad for Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia is a good company man, a good coach, a good person. In fact, he's from the area up here. No, he went to school here at RPI, very close to us here.
Not what they're saying in Detroit, Keith. I'll tell you.
Well,
ask Detroit. They got a different
Whether
opinion.
He's a good head coach is not germane to my point here, though. He's a good company man with the Patriots, and he takes the fall for something that he was thrown into ridiculously stupid.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's those. You got this job because your friend is the owner, right? Or your friends here. That's how I got that
Basically.
job.
That's how I got this job.
Facts.
Somebody's your friend, Sam. Who the hell's Sam's friend?
My friend Johnny Cruz
quick
over
tipster.
there.
Quick tipster.
Yeah, quick tipster. Yeah, he's pulling.
Yeah,
all
Scott, we'll go. Scott? I'll give you the option I gave John. Do you want to go first, or you want to go last?
I'll go last.
All right, go ahead, Keith. You had something to say.
I just wanted to say about Sammy. I noticed. I didn't want you to think I didn't notice that remark about you don't turn your back on Bill Belichick the way you said it earlier. That's the way. That was really kind of cool the way you slipped that in there.
I keep like even now, like even with the Patriots struggles, I still have trouble seeing that. Like okay, they've lost some games here, but they're gonna you still have that belief that Bill Belichick's going to do something.
So it was an actual compliment. It wasn't a backhand compliment.
That's just kind of how I see it.
We'll go ahead with you, Sam. The Patriots win this division. If what?
No, it wasn't a backstab. Now, I do. He probably a little too big for his britches, which is a saying we have down here about making Matt Patricia off. Like I could just put somebody in here. I think that's just like an ego thing. And I mean, let's be honest here. If things go south this season, we could be talking about somebody else wearing the headset next year. But are you going to me, Nick? Am I doing the win?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I went on a little tangent. They win if the defense keeps teams close a lot. Okay, they can't let multiple touchdowns get on them. Because with all due respect to the offense and everything like that, with how bad it was last year, and I think they'll be better, but they're not going to be the kind of team that can come from behind from big scores. That's how I see it. So their defense needs to ball out this year. They lose if Mac just can't get it done. If he is just what he is, and they need him, and they're also like my Titans, kind of counting on these younger guys to go in there and win games for you and stuff like that. They're athletic as hell, but they're inexperienced, and that is one hell of a gamble. It's one reason I don't feel good about this season of my team, and I wouldn't feel good if I was a Patriots fan about it either. So, but I wouldn't turn my back on Bill Belichick, Keith.
Yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't either. It wasn't a shot. I promise you. I wouldn't turn my back on.
I know. I'm just fiddling
no.
around.
Yeah,
Leave me alone. I'm sleep deprived with a baby. Okay.
Talk about thinking you're the smartest person in the room, Bill Belichick. But when you've got that much jewelry, you know what I'm saying, in your pocket, you know, you can act that way. So that's the difference between him and Mike McDaniel. But they win the division if Bill O'Brien can actually bring out the best in Mac Jones. Do I think Mac Jones is great? No. But I think he's a good quarterback. And with good coaching, I think he'll make the plays that they need him to make. But I agree with Sam as far as the defense has to play Bill Belichick type defense, because I don't see him bringing them back from a big deficit. So if he progresses well, Mac Jones, then they have an opportunity to win a division. They don't win a division if that defense falters at all. If that defense isn't a top defense. And they're playing catch up all the time. I don't think Mac Jones is the type of quarterback that can bring the team back constantly. You know what I'm saying? He may have one or two in him, but if they can stay ahead of the chains and they can play good defense, run the ball, I think Mac Jones can make just enough plays for them to win games. And again, when you got Bill Belichick, you always have a chance. But if that defense falters at all, they have no chance to win a division.
By the way, they got to replace the veteran leadership of Evan McCourty. That I that up as well, which is a big deal.
I love that Gonzalez kid though, man. That like Bill Belichick is, I'm sure he's salivating having that young kid as his corner man.
Yeah, agreed.
Scott, go ahead.
They win a division for two things. One, if Mac Jones and Bill O'Brien can work hand in hand together and resuscitate this offense and make them a top 12 offense in the NFL. And Matthew Judon is the beast that he's been in the first couple of years with the Patriots. If on defense he can get to the passer and he can be a lot to handle for offensive lines, the Patriots defense is going to be just fine because Belichick will figure it out in the secondary and the defensive backfield. They don't win the division if Mac Jones continues to be the same quarterback he was last year, and that defense takes a step back in Belichick, and Steve Belichick's not the offensive coordinator. Gerard Mayo. If Gerard Mayo is run by Bill Belichick this year, I think the Patriots will have a tough time winning the division. Gerard Mayo is the most important man on that coaching staff this year for them.
Great call. Great call.
And Keith and Scott, let me ask you guys this: is he the next guy in line?
He is.
Gerard Mayo.
He is.
By all accounts, yes. That's why he has not left. He's had opportunities to he doesn't have the as Scott said, he doesn't have the title of defensive coordinator, but he is the coordinator. He could have gone somewhere else and got more money with the title. Didn't do it. And I think Robert Kraft loves the guy too. So I think that he is the man in waiting right now.
I think Belichick and Kraft had a meeting with him and said, when Bill said to him, "When I leave, you're going to be the next guy. You're the assistant head coach in waiting, so to speak." So I
thought they were going to do that. Is that why McDaniels left?
I don't think that deal was ever in place.
No, I don't think so either. I think they wanted a defensive guy. They wanted to continue the defensive head coach type of theme, and I think Gerard Mayo has played in this league. Younger coach, the players can relate to him a lot better than they can relate to Bill, and then that's why he'll be the next head coach, I think.
And thank God, by the way, it wasn't Nick, because just Josh McDaniels proven the point that some guys are just great coordinators and not good head coaches. He's a
I was just about to say, depending on what happens with Bill O'Brien, don't be surprised if Mayo brings Josh McDaniels back to be the OC. Because he's definitely a good OC. He's just not a good head coach, man.
Well, I think O'Brien wants to be a head coach again anyway, so
that's what I'm saying. Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
right.
Oh, butt chin. That's what I like to call Bill
O'Brien. Is there a position that you guys are really worried about? Either lack of depth or anything like that. Is there a specific position group that you guys are worried about?
I personally think the wide receivers are a huge question mark for me. Juju. Okay, he's the number one in title, but he gets injured sometimes, and he doesn't play a full season. And then you got Devontae Parker, who Johnny, full well down in Miami, can never stay healthy for a whole year.
Right.
And then and Gesicki's already been hurt, and that's the guy that they wanted to play the slot guy and the inline tight end. They wanted him to be the athletic freak on that offense. So they got a lot of question marks in the receiving department.
See, unlike Scott, I think the receivers are going to surprise. I think the two kids will come along later in the year, right not out of the gate. I think Pop Douglas and Booty both will contribute this year. I think Kendrick Bourne is going to be one of the keys here. Bill O'Brien needs to get him involved in the offense like he was 2 years ago.
Yeah, you guys got Jalen Reagor now. It'll save your season.
And the position I'd worry about is the offensive line. I mean, when the starting unit is all healthy, it's a decent offensive line. It's not great. It's not even really good, but it's okay. But they don't stay healthy. They don't play together enough, and they keep bringing in bodies, but none of them are any good. So if that unit really stumbles, it's going to be a problem for Mac and the running game as well. So
some of those names you were saying are timeless.
The other guy in offense that I think could be a key is Zeke Elliott. If Zeke Elliott plays his role like Bill foresees him playing it, I
doesn't eat himself out of the league.
Their offense could be a little bit better than people think it could be. So
see, not for nothing, but it's worrisome that Juju and Zeke Elliott are keys to the success of the team. That would be a scary, scary thing.
That was going to be
a scary thought.
One thing
Go ahead.
One thing else, I'd love to add one other thing about Scott's comments about Matthew Judon. I love Matthew Judon. He's got to find a way to keep it going for 17 games and into the playoffs because he's petered out the last 2 years. And maybe that's the coaches have got to figure out a way to kind of rein him in early.
Yeah.
Give him some breaks, you know what I mean, early on in the season. You know?
Get him off the field a little bit.
This is corny. If he makes a sack, does anybody say you just got Judon? Nobody wants to touch that one. Come on.
No.
We say that
I would
all the time.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
You saw this interception.
Proud of you, Keith.
I'm going to say this.
But we're going to now. Yes, we are going.
Go ahead. The Patriots, Johnny kind of lived to it. If Juju can get back to the receiver, not really get back, but can play like the receiver he thinks he is, and Zeke can he don't have to turn the clock all the way back, but if he can turn it half the way back with him and Ramondre, I think that's how the Patriots win this division. They don't win this division if, like you guys said, if Mac Jones, it doesn't take that next step and he plays like he did last year, or, he needs to progress. We need to see him take that next step. That's if they don't win this. That's if they don't win this division. Scott, I've been meaning to go to you. Go ahead, and before we get to the Jets, give us just a rundown of our gambling picks and fantasy picks for these three teams that we just covered.
So we'll start with Miami, and the fantasy guy is Raheem Mostert. Can he stay healthy? Can he be the number one back that Mike McDaniel thought he was getting when he took the job? I say there's going to be a committee, and don't forget about Devin A-Chain too for Miami. If he gets healthy, he could be a factor too. I'll go through the fantasy stuff, and then after we're done, I'll go through the betting stuff. With the Patriots, it's very simple. It's Juju. Can Juju be that number one wide receiver that Bill Belichick needs and wants him to be? And can he form a nice mesh with Mac Jones and be the receiver that he needs to be? I don't know if they're going to play him. Keith, I don't know if they play him. You think you play him in the slot? Or you think
I think he's going to play the slot mostly. He's play the slot.
Okay, so Juju has got to be that dominant guy in the slot, like they've had with Edelman and Welker, and that's those guys in the past. So, him and Kendrick Bourne need to form the team together. With Buffalo, it's Josh Allen. Can Josh Allen shake off the end of the season last year and the way he played and become that alpha quarterback in the NFL that he was before the elbow injury cost him a lot of accuracy and a lot of stuff, with the Bills? And is he going to curtail his running? If he curtails his running a little bit, I don't know what that's going to mean for his passing, because he needs to run a little bit to be effective. So those are the fantasy factors, and I'll get to the betting after we go through the division and predictions. So,
All right. That's cool. Yeah, we'll do that. Perfect. And let's get into the Jets. Obviously, we know they breathe. I mean, they finished dead last. They went in this division last year, went 7-10. Everybody, they need a quarterback. Well, why not go get one of the greatest of all time and Aaron Rodgers? They bring in him, and he brings his buddies Randall Cobb, Alan Lazard with him. They also go out and get Miko Hardman. They get another Aaron guy and Billy Turner. Quentin Jefferson signs to the team as well. Gone is Elijah Moore, Braxton Berrios, Mike White, Joe Flacco, and Vinny Curry. Sheldon Rankins is gone. Quan Alexander and LaMarcus Joyner. Their draft that they go and get Will McDonald and Joe Timpman at the center, Carter Warren, Israel Anabenka, Zaire Baines, and Zach Kurtz. And also, by the way, they also went and got Dalvin freaking Cook just recently too. So Keith,
freaking Cook.
The Jets win this division if what?
If they're the San Diego Padres of the NFL. Chemistry is listen, I really believe this, and I'm not a Jet fan, as we all know. The only way the Jets don't win this division is if they beat themselves. They've got so much talent. Chemistry on this team is important. If the Hard Knocks honeymoon ends and Rodgers doesn't mesh with these guys, gets in their faces, they pout about it, this team could be a train wreck as well. So I guess I gave you my how they'll lose, and I guess that's how they'll lose. How they'll win, it all works. Aaron Rodgers came out of the cave, saw a shadow, saw 2 Super Bowl championships in New England. There's a Freudian slip for you. In New York, and it all works perfectly. And they lose if, again, they're the San Diego Padres of the NFL. That doesn't work chemistry wise. Talent is there. This defense they're championship worthy now. The defense they were last year.
Yeah,
that's a really good defensive unit, and they're better. They're getting better. Yeah. And
Quinn Williams is one of the best, probably one of the top 5 interior linemen in the league right now.
Absolutely. And Sauce Gardner's already one of the top corners in the league. Already.
Yeah, I watched Quinn Williams destroy the Packers when they played them. I mean, absolutely destroyed them. So there's that. Johnny, we'll start with you. The Jets win this division if what?
The Jets win the division if that offensive line can actually protect Aaron Rodgers. If they keep him upright and he stays healthy the whole season, I don't see how they lose the division. You're talking about one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. He's got some weapons there. Like you mentioned, you got Dalvin Cook along with Breece Hall. Hopefully he comes back healthy. But you got Garrett Wilson. That's a squad right there, man. If that offensive line can gel and actually protect Aaron Rodgers, then I think they win the division. They don't win the division besides the offensive line part is if that defense takes any kind of a step back. I know that they were a top defense last year. They had a bunch of turnovers, but that was towards the beginning of the season. They didn't have any turnovers, I want to say, the last 6 or 7 games of the season. So the defense did kind of start to falter towards the end of the season. If that defense doesn't step up and play the way they played in the first half of the season, then I don't think they win the division.
Well, they had no offense to keep them off the field either. So
yeah.
Touche.
Yeah. Scott?
The Jets win the division if Aaron Rodgers returns to the Aaron Rodgers that he was before last year. In terms of he has to get Garrett Wilson involved a lot in the passing game, and they've got to be able to run the ball with Dalvin Cook and Breece Hall, because I think Breece Hall, as the season goes on, will become much, much healthier.
Yeah.
So Breece Hall is Breece Hall that we saw at the beginning of last year. Between him and Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson, that could be a dangerous trio for any team in the division to handle. They don't win the division if Aaron Rodgers plays as he did last year, and that defense does not play top-level, top-notch defense. Because if they can't get to the quarterback as a defensive unit, and they can't stop those short intermediate passes with the linebackers, they're going to have a lot of problems. There's a lot of speed in this division this year between the wide receiving core. So they need to to control that and keep it under wraps. So those are the two things.
Yeah, they got their front half. Their schedule is brutal. They got a tough schedule, starting with the Bills on Monday night. So, Sam,
they win the division if they seize the opportunity that is ahead of them. Right, team loaded with talent. We've been over it. Aaron Rodgers returned to form. They got to seize that opportunity because we've seen what happened to the Rams. Right, they gambled and it won. They're gambling, but I think they have a higher probably winning percentage than or expected wins than the Rams certainly did. They lose this division if Aaron Rodgers focuses too much on Randall Cobb and Lazard and they're not good. That I think because he has a tendency to go for his guys. He's got to spread the ball around. It's got to be butter on toast.
Garrett's going to be his guy. He's already. I mean, you watch him on Hard Knocks. Him and Garrett Wilson are they're going to cook together.
I hear you, and I agree with you. I'm just saying this is how they lose. If something goes wrong, kind of like Keith said, if the pouting starts, if he gets in somebody's face, they got to come together. And boy, can you imagine if it falls off? If they fall off, it's going to be one of the greatest drops in NFL history. I mean, it's going to be really
in New York. I can't wait to read the papers.
I was just about to say, keep listening to all the New York radio. Oh my God, it'll be so much fun.
I mean, I'm rooting
Greedy on First Take will be crying every day.
I'm rooting for a train wreck so bad. I don't think there'll be one, but
I don't think so either. I'm just saying that's how they lose.
You guys, it's not gonna happen. As long as AR 12 now AR 8 is Johnny just said it. As long as he's upright, that offensive line is worrisome. Becton, can he come back and be healthy? He might be the most important piece on this whole team. Can he stay healthy? Aaron needs some offensive line help. He's still an aging quarterback. He's not as mobile as he once was, but he's not a statue back there. But still needs some time. They got all the weapons in the world. This is the most loaded team he's ever had. I mean, this is Aaron freaking Rodgers, folks. You can say what you want about him, but he's still the one of the top 2-3 most talented quarterbacks to ever put on a football helmet. This guy, and not only is he that, but he's pissed the fuck off. And I mean, it's scorched earth, Aaron Rodgers. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. He's my dark horse MVP pick. They don't win this division if he's not upright. They win this division if it is scorched earth Aaron Rodgers for 17 games and he's dropping dimes and suck it signs on everybody. That's how they win this division. So, Keith, we'll get into our predictions here. Give us your fourth place team and their record.
Real quick before I do that. You guys on the regular panel, what week will I turn the show on and he'll be wearing a Jets jersey? Really?
Hey,
it may be week one. It'll be week
first
one.
Win. No, halftime of the first game.
Yes.
I don't jump. Keith, I don't jump my team, but I have guys.
That's okay.
I have guys I root for. Aaron.
Yeah.
I'm always root for Aaron. It's not his fault. He didn't do Green Bay dirty. Green Bay did him dirty. I root for a lot for the Bengals too because I love Joey Burrow. So those are. But yeah, I'm all in on the Jets this year.
I can relate. I don't want to speak for Scott. I can relate because when Tom Brady left, I didn't root for the Bucs. I wasn't a Bucs fan, but I didn't root against Tom Brady. I mean,
and if they do well, it just helps the Packers. We get a better draft pick.
Yeah, good point. Anyway. Last place team first, Miami.
Ooh.
Woo. 7-10.
Get him, Johnny. Get him, Johnny.
Hey, it's his opinion, bro. It's all good.
Way too much.
You be mad.
You be mad,
bro. You be mad, bro.
What's your record, Keith?
7-10.
I'm gonna text you, Johnny. You can tell me how you feel. It's gonna be all right. We'll have a little.
If I was mad, I would say, bro. I bite my tongue for no one, bro.
We'll go with you, Sam. The fourth place team is what? It's who?
The fourth place team. I'm sorry, guys. It's the Pats. I think they get 6 wins out of this year.
Sorry, something wrong with my headset.
Yeah, what's going on?
Listen here, Homer. Don't you pick your team to win the division, Homer. You hear me?
I won't
Don't
do
you
that.
do it.
I won't do it, but I won't do it.
You know, there are people we thought wouldn't do it, and they did it. So
That is true. Scott, go ahead.
I got the Jets at 8-9.
Oh,
I don't think they're ready. I don't think they're quite ready yet, and I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a little transition period into New York and trying to get set with that media market and fan base. So I got the Jets.
Hot take.
By the way, if they're 8-9, I don't think there's a year 2. I'm just saying.
There might not be a year 2 period.
Oh, that's a good point. If they win, he could walk away, right?
Excuse me, not 8-9, 7-10. 7-10.
Oh,
Okay.
even worse.
Wow.
Scott, what are you doing, bro? I thought you were smart.
Scott does like the
He's never coming out of the cave.
Woo! Go ahead.
No more Jello for you, Scott. No more Jello.
Yeah, what they feeding you in the nursery?
That's a Hulkamania mustache bet if there ever was one.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. I got the Pats in 4.
Hey, brother.
But I got them at 9-8.
Ooh, last place, 9-8.
I got
place.
Hey, I got the 4th place team I got the Patriots at 7-9. Hammer it home. Your Patriots are your 4th place team.
What happened?
That would be 7-10. 7-10.
7-10. You're right. Jesus, the 16 games.
You
7
won't
and
even
10.
let us play all the games.
It's
Yeah, who
again.
cares?
Remember how you guys
the
lost me for the
17th
16
game always
games
throws
we
me off. 16 games always in my brain. Keith, who's your 3rd place team?
3rd place team, Buffalo Bills.
Oh,
Buffalo Bills, 9-8. The slippage begins.
You and Alan are same. Alan said the same thing. Johnny, we'll go to you this time.
I got the Jets.
And Johnny froze because of this.
Yeah.
he didn't like that Dolphin slander. It broke him. He's hurt. He's wounded, boys.
The hurricane hit Johnny's house.
Nick
Yep.
frozen.
Johnny's out.
Okay, hey, we'll go to you, Scott.
Oh my God, he's crying.
I know.
I don't know if I froze or if you guys froze.
You did.
You
You
froze.
did.
You're the
Yes,
problem.
I got the
Johnny. You're
Jets.
the problem.
Jets 3rd place, 10-7. All 4 teams are going to be over 500. I got the Jets at 10-7.
Nice.
Jets at 10-7. 4th on the 3rd place. Okay,
3rd place.
Scott.
3rd place.
I got the Bills at 9-8.
Bills 9-8.
I would be so happy.
Sam?
Bro.
I also have the Bills, but I have them at 10-7.
So Tanner had the Pats at 7 wins. At 4th place, he's got the Bills at 8 wins. The 3rd place team, I got the Dolphins at 9 wins here. At the Dolphins are your 3rd place team.
All right.
Keith, second place team.
The New England Patriots. And I will have them at 10-7 in a wild card, by the way.
Scott, we'll go to you. 2nd place team.
Same Patriots 10-7. Patriots 10-7.
Sam.
It's like being a homer, but not a homer. You know what I mean? When they take the 2nd place. I get you. That's crafty old man.
Second place, and a playoff spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a playoff spot. How
He said that.
wonderful.
I think they missed the playoffs on a tiebreaker.
Oh.
Okay. I have the Bills at 11-6.
Johnny.
I got the Dolphins in 2nd place at 11-6.
I got the Bills at 10 wins here. They make the playoffs, but I got the Bills winning this division. Tanner's got I got the Bills at 2nd. Tanner had the Dolphins at 2nd. So Bills. Right. Keith,
Such a satisfying hammer.
Who wins this division?
The Jets and your, what do you call them? What is it?
AR8.
Your person. Your person.
They win the division. I'm going to say
Aaron. Where is Aaron?
I'm going to call it 12-5 and win the division. get to the AFC Championship game and lose. I'll give you all of it.
Okay. Johnny?
I mean, until Buffalo gets beat, I'm gonna respect the reigning champ. So I think the Bills are gonna win a division on a tiebreaker with an 11-6 record, just like the Dolphins.
Which team, Tipster?
Tanner had 9 wins for the Dolphins on the second place, Tipster.
Yeah, the Dicks and the Bills are just edge them out with tiebreakers.
Go ahead, Scott. Your first place team?
I got Miami at 12-5.
Sam?
I have the Jets at 12-5. They win. They punch their ticket by beating the Bills in a last-second field goal or a last-second touchdown by Aaron Rodgers to take the division.
He's kicking field goals too. I want to bet more.
Right?
I want to bet more.
Hey, my first place team, me and Fireman Ed together. J-E-E-S, Jets are your first place team, baby. They're getting 12 wins. The division is finally theirs.
You're a homer.
The curse is over.
Has a host ever gotten muted before? Has a host ever gotten muted before?
Yes, Jets, AR8, AR12, whatever you want to call them. The Jets are headed back to the playoffs for the first time since like 2010, before the butt fumble.
Hey Nick, could you when you spell Jets, can you hammer each word home?
J-E-T-S.
If you're going to be a Jets fan, you got to be obnoxious like that, bud. I can teach you how to be obnoxious.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really good at it.
He's doing well.
Yeah, I'm sure you can. Keith, we appreciate you joining us. Where can everybody catch you out?
Had a blast, guys. TGI Sports Talk. You can catch us there. You can catch us on Let's Talk Sports, obviously. Northeast Streaming Sports. You can catch me on Wednesday nights with the College Football Huddle. You can catch me on Friday beating my head against the wall on the Are You Serious show with the Mad New Yorker. Sundays with the Stream of Consciousness. We got the Major League Baseball update on Let's Talk Sports. We got all kinds of stuff going on. Yes. And before I go, thank you for having me. And I want to give a shout out to our guy, Dan Harris, who I had a quick chat with today. And always rooting for you, Dan. And I just, I know we all feel the same way about Dan. I want to give him a shout out tonight.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, most definitely. We miss you, Dan. Keith, get some sleep. I know it's late there at the nursing home for you. And Scott will be in a little bit later to tuck you in.
I'm going to be looking for the Jell-O. Where's the Jell-O?
For heaven's sake, Scott, it's a casserole. It'll keep. Give
it up for host of TGI Sports, amongst other things. None of them, Mr. Keith Engle. Thank you, Keith.
Thank you, bud.
Scott, give us our before we get into I want to talk some just NFL news and notes before we get out of here, but give us our fantasy for the Jets and then our gambling picks here for this division.
Fantasy's Garrett Wilson. Can he duplicate what Devontae Adams did with Aaron Rodgers? And according to the first preseason game that I saw, the answer would be yes, because 1,000%. He's looking for Garrett Wilson all over the field all the time, and he threw a touchdown pass to Garrett Wilson in the preseason game. So I think he can do it, and I hope he does. Betting angles very quick. Garrett Wilson, 100+ receiving yards in 8+ games is plus 350, which I think he's going to do because I think Aaron Rodgers is going to look for him early and often. So that's the Jets. The Patriots is Ramondre Stevenson, 75+ rushing yards in 8+ games. That's plus 120. If Belichick runs the ball a lot, Stevenson's going to have to get those 100 yards. Uh-huh. Buffalo is Josh Allen, 300+ passing yards in 8 regular season games. Plus 225. Again, the Bills throw the ball a lot. They probably, them and the Chiefs, throw the ball more than anybody in the NFL. So he's going to get 300 yards if he does that. The Dolphins one is Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle have 1,500+ receiving yards, and that's plus 100. One of them can do it. I don't know who it is. I think it's Tyreek.
They both almost did it last year, bro.
Yeah.
That's
so
wild.
If Mike McDaniel sticks to that offensive game plan of throwing the ball a lot or trying to, then one of Tyreek or Jalen's going to have over 1,500 yards this year. Which one it is, I don't know. But so they're all plus money. So
nice.
Nice. Hey, so I want to ask you guys this: some NFL news and notes before we get up out of here. The Colts didn't trade Jonathan Taylor. Rumored to go to the Packers inquired, which I don't fucking understand. And Johnny's Dolphins, but they said give us Waddle, which
and more,
which makes no fucking sense. What you got, Johnny? We'll start with you. What's your thoughts on the JT saga continues here?
I mean, I feel bad for Jonathan Taylor. I mean, he's the only one that's losing out here because Jim Irsay don't care. He's up in the clouds, kissing the sky anyway, so he don't know what's really going on. So he's hurting his quarterback. You got a young quarterback. What's the best thing you can do for a young quarterback? Have a good running attack. So I mean, you don't want to pay the kid, but you tell him to go look for a trade. He goes and looks for a trade, and then you ask for the world to make the trade. You're not willing to pay him, but yet you want, one of the top 5 players of another team. That makes absolutely no sense. So I feel bad for Jonathan Taylor and just Jim Irsay. What are you doing, bro? Try to better your team, take the picks and take whatever you can. Instead, you're going to hold the poor kid hostage, man.
Yeah, I don't understand why Green Bay is trying to call on JT. You already have Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. That Goody's just a fucking idiot. I mean, that's just that's just it. Like,
I mean, you can't blame him if you got an opportunity at a top back. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like we already got those two guys.
I feel you.
You know what I mean? Like that trade makes no sense if Green Bay, but I guess, he said, yeah, we just inquire just to inquire, so we'll see.
I said it on my show with Bo a little earlier. If Jim Irsay
that you love so much. Yeah.
If Jim Irsay ever thinks he's going to get Jalen Waddle from Miami for Jonathan Taylor, he's nuts. He's on more drugs than I even thought he was on. I mean, that's ridiculous. The Dolphins are really going to trade one of their wide receivers to get Jonathan Taylor? Not going to happen.
Right.
No. Yeah, not in today's world, right? Not in today's world.
Well, not in today's NFL. No way.
I mean, they got to be thinking like this is like Herschel Walker, like, you know what I mean? Like back in the early 90s, you know what I mean? Like, we can just sell them and get the farm for them.
Right.
Yeah.
When quick thing to add here, though, like hats off to Chris Ballard. You guys know I love some blatant honesty, and he was pretty freaking honest when he got up on the microphone. Yeah, it totally sucks. The whole thing sucks. I was like, rock on, bro.
Yeah, I think Ballard's stuck in a rock and a hard place a little bit. He's trying to what the fuck? Fuck no. Quit. That's the dumbest fucking question. No, absolutely fucking not.
I've been waiting for you to launch on that guy. I was like, that's a lot of comments. He's gonna get him. He's
been jumping on the Packers previously. He just asked about that question. I think I know who this is, but I don't want to say.
The other thing I wanted to say is that like Jonathan Taylor is obviously important to your offense if you're the Colts. And no team ever escapes free agency without overpaying for somebody. Okay, it's just how it is. Free agency is overpaying for somebody about 90% of the time anyway.
Right.
So just do it. You've got cap room. They don't. It's not like they don't. They're like us, right? That barely any movement whatsoever, or you go over the cap. They have cap room. So I would just say just bite the bullet and just do it. I mean,
that's what I don't understand. You got a young quarterback that you're not going to have to pay for at least the next 4 years.
Who needs a running game? By the way,
that's what I'm saying. Help him with a running attack. And
yeah, here's a thought with the Packers rumor trade. The Packers would either have to trade A.J. Dillon or Aaron Jones.
No, yeah, you don't do that. And then you want to you're cheaper now than Taylor is.
But that's what I'm saying. If they ask for Waddle and more from Miami, if they were engaged in the Packers with talks, Dillon or Aaron Jones had to be part of those talks on Indy side, not on the Packers.
It was probably one of them and a wide receiver. Probably one of them and Christian Watson. You're saying some stupid shit like that. I mean, that's
it's too much. If you're asking for Waddle, I mean, Waddle for Taylor straight up, Miami like, man, we already got Hill. Maybe we think about it. Maybe. You know what I mean? Not saying you pull the trigger, but it's at least a thought, right? But if they're saying Jalen Waddle and more, absolutely fucking not. You hang up the fucking phone.
No, and now he's on the PUP list for 4 weeks. He's gone.
Yeah,
for the first 4 weeks.
We'll get back to that in just a second, Scott, too, because I got a fantasy question to ask you along with Cup. This question right here that Tipster asked: Justin Fields over Jordan Love or Kirk Cousins? I don't really know. We don't know what Jordan Love is yet, or really Justin Fields. I know what Kirk Cousins is, and I'll never take Kirk Cousins over anybody, especially when the game's at 8:00 at night. So
I would take Justin Fields over Jordan Love.
You think you know what Jordan Love is? You don't know what Jordan Love is.
Yeah,
no, you don't.
And yes, Tanner probably agrees with this. I'd take Justin Fields because he's going to run for 800 yards and probably.
I love this quick tipster guy. He's amazing.
Yeah,
is that you? Is that you?
That was you.
It has to be you. You punk.
It is.
You punk. You some bitch. You some
I
bitch.
said it in the private chat earlier. That must be Tanner. But
yeah.
But Justin Fields.
I knew I smelled a douchebag when I seen one.
Justin
was it yourself? You didn't smell yourself.
Do we think Justin Fields takes the next step?
I don't.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. I think he's
finally
got some.
Because
I've seen this story a million times.
Remember last year when the Titans and the Eagles made the trade that the guy should remain nameless? Devonta Smith.
You can say his name. I'm not a pussy. Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that, but
when Brown came to Philadelphia, Devonta Smith went to the second wide receiver, and that suits him better than being the top receiver. So now that DJ Moore is there, Donnell Mooney all of a sudden becomes wide receiver 2, which suits him even better.
Here's the thing: is Fields was pretty good at Ohio State. You know who his wide receivers were? Was Garrett Wilson and Olave. Those two alone are better wide receivers than he's ever had in a Bear uniform at all. You know what I mean? Like he played with better competition at Ohio State than he's playing with his wide receiver room in Chicago. Now it's better, right? They got more. They got, Mooney was there last year. Who knows what Claypool.
DJ Moore and Khalil Herbert are going to make all the difference in the world for that offense. The offense is going to be much, much better now if those guys stay healthy for the entire year.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I think Justin Fields needs to work on his fundamentals. He's still making a lot of passing errors. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you could have the greatest wide receivers all you want, but if you're overthrowing them or underthrowing them all the time, it doesn't matter.
Right.
So
I agree there with that, Sam.
Preseason game, but remember the preseason games, he threw 2 touchdowns. They were legitimately 5 yards and air yards, and those guys ran the rest of the way. So he needs to work on his passing fundamentals. So.
Right.
Tanner, I'm glad you joined us. I want to ask you this because, you got, to me, the best tight end in the league in Travis Kelce, but he's no longer getting paid like the best tight end. TJ Hawkinson.
He never was.
I know that, but I mean, TJ Hawkinson got the big deal. He got the bag from Minnesota and is now officially annual money-wise, highest paid tight end in the league. What's your thoughts on Hawkinson? And when is Kelce ever going to get the bag? Like, you know what I mean?
Hey,
no, I don't think he's worried about it.
He wants to be
I don't think he's worried about it.
Call him quick.
He likes the situation where he's at, with the team he's on, the good coach, the quarterback, the GM, the whole situation.
The winning.
TJ Hawk, yes, he is a good tight end, right? When he's healthy.
Not worth that much.
But I mean, it's Minnesota though. They're going to overpay. They give Kirk Cousins guaranteed contracts for the last 4 years.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but you can't pay Dalvin Cook.
Right.
It's weird stuff, right? So, but I think they look at Hawkinson because they traded for him mid-season last year, and now you're looking at a guy that's going to be part of your, your future for this team. Whoever the heck's the quarterback in the future. So, is he worth it? No, but is he a good piece to have to lock up? Yes. Will Kelce come out and say, "Give me the money" like Chris Jones is? No. Kelce's got enough on the side where he's not overly concerned about what's on the field. He's kind of like Mahomes right now, where he's like, hey, let's put together a winning squad.
He wants to win.
Let's go out and keep winning.
Yeah, I agree with that. Sam, you keep saying Hawkinson got overpaid. Why?
Because I don't think he is. What I'm saying is he got overpaid, as in I don't think he is worth that money. is what I'm saying.
You're paid with what somebody gives you is what I always like to say.
I guess so, but I just think that is way too much. I feel like they're driving up the price. The Jags did this with the AJ Brown situation, right? They paid is it Kirksey, whoever,
Christian
whatever.
Kirk.
Yeah, they knew the Titans had to pay AJ Brown, and they paid that guy an astronomical amount of money, right? So AJ Brown sends out the tweet of Dave Chappelle holding the money and everything, and that, the rest is history. Maybe they're trying to drive up the price for something, but I don't know. But he is not. I'm sorry, he's not worth that much. I mean, he better be freaking vital to that offense. Is what
he is going to be.
He is. I think so. Go ahead, Scott.
Hawkinson did ask for the contract because he told the Vikings, "I want to be paid like one of the top tight ends in basically NFL history."
Yeah, he said holding. He was holding in. He was holding in.
He was saying, "Oh, he had a bad back or something." Like, it wasn't a bad back. He was holding in until he got a contract. He's being paid $17 million a year now. That's what he's being paid.
To his credit, he was on the last year of his. Well, to his credit, he was on the last year of his rookie deal. So I mean, he had 85. They said he had 85 catches last year. So I mean, when he got there. It integrated into the offense. Kirk Cousins looked for him. I mean, it was JJ dumped down to Hawkinson. That's kind of how that worked out for them. So I think I don't know if Minnesota feels like he's worth it.
Is JJ going to get 35 a year?
He's going to have to. He's
somewhere in
the
that
best.
range.
JJ will get paid when his deal's up. When his rookie deal's up, he'll get paid as the top wide receiver in the league.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Tyreek's getting 30. You think it'll go up to 35? It'll go up to 35.
Easy. And when Chase is up, Chase is going to go up in that area too. He's going to have
How many years does Cousins have left on his contract?
This is his last year.
This is it. Then they're probably paying him to go ahead and just be like a cornerstone.
I don't think so. I mean? They would have already guaranteed it this year. They've guaranteed it every single time for the next year. This year I think
they're
not extending them. They already said they're not extending them.
The quarterback
I'm not talking about Cousins. I'm talking about TJ Hawkinson. I'm talking about him.
Well,
like they're keeping him there to be.
I think
yes.
I think they're looking in the future.
Yes.
The quarterback they drafted, the Vikings envisioned him taking over for Cousins, Hendon Hooker. That's who they see as the next quarterback.
Hendon Hooker's on the Lions.
That's Lions.
That's the Lions.
Oh, that's the Lions. All right. Well, who's the quarterback?
That's what I was just about to say.
Nick Mullins.
Who's their quarterback?
Nick Mullins.
They drafted somebody. Wasn't it Mond or somebody like that?
No, Mond's gone.
Mond's cut him, I think.
He's in Cleveland, I think. Mond.
Well, he got cut. Yeah. He's on the bench like us.
Yeah.
Waiting for a team.
But
waiting for the pickup.
Listen, the money they pay in Hawkinson, the money they pay Justin Jefferson in the soon future, if they don't have a quarterback to get them the ball, that's wasted money. Mm-hmm. It's totally wasted money. So what are you going to do? You're going to go out and you're going to trade for one of these top 10 quarterbacks? Those teams aren't going to let them go. So Minnesota,
you know what they're doing, Scott? Right, they're banking on Dallas's failure this year in the playoffs when McCarthy gets canned and Dak gets look elsewhere.
I think Tannehill's in a Minnesota jersey next year. That's my guess.
I got Dak in Minnesota.
Tannehill's not an upgrade over Kirk Cousins. So
nobody's an upgrade over Kirk Cousins inside a few guys.
I think Jerry Jones traded for Trey Lance, envisioning him to be the next quarterback of the Cowboys.
God,
I think so.
I really do.
God.
He didn't tell anybody.
Sorry, Alan.
Traded for him. So I think Trey Lance is the envisioned success of the Dak Prescott if Dak fails this year. So
another one to look out for too is
it'll be another 30 years till Dallas wins another Super Bowl.
Jerry will be.
Don't be surprised if somebody calls the Jets for Zach as well. Like that.
Go for it.
The Jets are what? Aaron's only got a year or two left in him, so you keep Zach and you just let him. You wait.
You're gonna have to decide on his 5th-year option after this season. You're gonna pick up his 5th-year option.
Yeah.
Nope.
Or maybe you don't, and maybe you rework his deal. You know what I mean? Into like a 1-and-1 deal.
Well, I mean, the way Aaron has spoken, he's talking 2, possibly 3 years, and then pass it over to this kid. Like, why wait? If he has an opportunity to leave, I think I mean, you ain't gonna get a first or a second round pick for Zach Wilson, but
because you saw what it was last year.
If somebody throws the Jets at 3, I
Jets would take it.
Trade. Yeah,
Jets would be like, give me anything and anything for the draft if it's top 5.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially after last year.
Right.
Zach Wilson's not worth anything right now.
No,
he's
not at all.
No, he's not.
Let me ask you guys this. We know Jonathan Taylor's on the PUP list. Von Miller's on the PUP list. But, so Jonathan Taylor, especially in fantasy, Scott, and now Cooper Kupp is a setback. He's questionable with the hamstring. I am not. We've already drafted in our LTS league, but I have been fading both of those guys. Where are you at on Kupp and maybe even Taylor?
I'm the same way. This hamstring injury bothers me a lot. This is going to linger into the season. I think that Kupp is going to want to rush back and play week 1 against Seattle. And I think that would be the worst thing for him to do because he could re-aggravate it. He could tear it. He could do anything to that and be out for the season or be out for 6 to 8 weeks. So you know what? He needs to sit his butt down and fully get healthy. The Rams aren't going anywhere this year. If they don't have Cooper Kupp, they definitely aren't going anywhere this year. So he needs to just sit and get healthy. So
I asked the question. I asked the question to Bo on Scott's show, which if you're new, hit the subscribe, smash that like, click on the bell so you get notifications. But on the Scott Cobe show every Thursday night at 7 p.m., we had a football talk with Bo on there. I asked him, when does Aaron Donald say, "Get me the hell up out of here"?
Well, he tried to retire. He's going to retire his paperwork.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm just saying, do you think is there any chance that if they're 2-6 come to trade deadline, he's like, "Yo, get me up out of here"?
No.
Nah. You'll just retire, ride it out, and retire at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Well, here's what's bad in Ramland right now. Okay, I said this on my show as well. Matthew Stafford's wife has a podcast. Matthew Stafford's wife has a podcast.
Oh God!
And Matthew Stafford went to McVay and said, "Can you put a book together and get me pictures of all the guys on offense with their names underneath, so that when I need to talk to them, I can look at my book and say,
that's wild.
Oh, there's Van Jefferson. Hey, Van, how was your weekend?" Seriously, she said this on her podcast. He is disconnected with the team. He has no connection with them. He said because when he goes in the locker room after practice, they're all sitting on their phones texting and looking at stories on their phones. He can't talk to any of them. He has no idea. He doesn't know how.
That's right modern today kids, though. I think, and
I know, but that's a problem if you don't know who's on offensive line and receive. He doesn't know. He's no idea. It's a mess. It's a mess in Ramland right now.
I mean, Scott, it's like you and Johnny walking into a computer store. I wonder why everybody's on the computers and phones.
Damn.
Wow.
Shots fired.
He said
boom.
Store.
It's just how it is, man. It's just how the locker rooms are these days.
It is.
Yeah.
I agree.
But Scott, I agree with Bo though. I mean, it's on Matthew Stafford to kind of make that connection with those guys and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. It's like that scene. It's like that scene from It's Always Any Given Sunday, right? When Al Pacino sits next to Jamie Foxx, and he's like, "What you listen to there?" And he's like, he named some rapper. He's like, "Oh, I have to." He's like, "I like blah blah. I'll get you the record." He's like, "CDs. I listen to CDs."
Yeah.
Like, and Al Pacino's like, "What the fuck is a CD?"
So it gets better. The story that she tells. He said to her, "Should I walk up to them and pull the phones out of their hands and just start talking to them like being like a father?"
Nah, just text them.
No, hey, I was about to say, just text them.
Yeah, yeah. That's how I communicate with my son. Like, we have conversations, but the 90% of the conversation's better when it's texted because that's how he communicates to the world. Yeah. You know what I mean?
They don't know how to speak on the phone, man.
Yeah.
There's different things you could do. Like Tannehill rented out this season. He rented out a bowling alley, and the whole team came.
That's what I was thinking.
There are things you do, like you go out and see movies together. They go out and have dinners together. They've been spotted all over Nashville having a great time. They play it. There's like a giant laser tag arena in Nashville, and they played there. And it's all that's the stuff you do. You're doing that during the off season to make your connections.
You guys got to remember too. This Rams team had so many big names for the last 2 years, 3 years, that there was no real chemistry build. It was just talent on the field. And so now Stafford's sitting here without all those big names on defense and offense, where he's like, all right, well, how do I go about this time? And he doesn't. A lot of these leadership veterans don't understand the leadership that it takes because they've never had to been put in that spot before with all the talent there. So you just got to remember that too. Like big names in there doesn't mean that they're always just, happy dory with each other. It's just talent on the field. So I think it's just another fallout from what the Rams did to win that Super Bowl.
Well, they also said that when Reggie Bush was in Detroit with him, Reggie Bush was the leader of that team, and if they needed to have a meeting, he was the one that called it, not Stafford.
We never heard Stafford being a leader.
Right.
He played
his bowl of cereals with everybody in his offensive line or something, like he does with Cooper Kupp. I don't know.
That was the thing about Marcus Mariota. Never spoke up, never said anything. He's just like, hey, I'm doing my job, and they need to do theirs, kind of thing. And I'm like,
nah, you can't be the quarterback and be
that how it works. Well, it didn't sit well with Vrabel. I'll tell you that much.
I'm sure there's a reason. Mariota might be out the league. Did he get cut from the Eagles?
Yeah,
not yet.
Yeah,
oh, he did.
I think he
I'm
did.
pretty sure he did.
Ouch.
Wow.
Because they kept Ian Book.
Done. He's not made for it.
They kept Ian Book. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Mariota was awful. I think Mariota's done. I don't think he's going to play another down in the NFL.
Yeah, here's the shtick, right, guys?
He was done
he goes up there.
Yeah,
right. He's up there when he was with the Titans. They said, "How do you adapt your game every year?" And his actual quote was, he said, "I don't adapt my game. I play my game on the field." And to which it was great because Dick LeBeau, they were talking to him in the same press conference. And Dick LeBeau said, "I have to adapt at 80-something years old. Everyone has to adapt." And he goes, "You either adapt or you die." And I was like, he's 100% right. And it shows how much Mike Mularkey was like just hovering over Mariota is good. And then like Mike Vrabel comes in and is like, this kid sucks. Like, you know?
So Vrabel's also been attached to Tom Brady for all them years. You know what I mean? So he knows what it takes in greatness.
Right. Right. By the way, if you want a good read, the guys from the Ringer NFL show followed them around all summer, and Mike Vrabel used to take pictures of his Peloton bike score and send it to Ben Jones and say, "Try to beat that fat boy." The best story ever. Beat that fat boy. Yeah, that's great. It's a good read if you guys haven't read it.
Nice.
Yep.
Well, boys, it's been a great show. We'll go ahead and get to our final goodbyes, and we'll get out of here. Johnny, we'll start with you.
Just like Keith mentioned earlier, just want to give a quick shout out to the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Dan Harris.
Yes, sir.
Much love to him. We all wouldn't be here together without him, so I'm forever grateful to him for not only his friendship, which I'm grateful for, but the fact that I get to know all of you guys. Another fun show today with Keith. Don't keep him up too late there, Scott. You know what I'm saying? He's got shows to do tomorrow. But no, I've had a lot of fun. It was a blast. Looking forward to Sunday morning show. And then getting ready for a week from tonight is opening night of the football season. So I'm excited about it as Florida is getting their asses kicked, yo.
What a disappointment that is.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm heartbroken. I'm so sad.
But yeah, definitely subscribe, smash the like, click on the bell, turn on the notifications so you know whenever anybody is going live, man.
Scott, who we betting on tomorrow?
I have nothing. I'm done.
All right, next, Sam.
Yep. So I'm done betting baseball. It's on to football now, college and pro. So, as I said earlier in the show, I took Alabama minus 39 over Middle Tennessee State. I took Ohio State minus 30 over Indiana. And then I took Florida tonight, and that's
over Indiana.
Indiana hasn't beaten Ohio State in 28 straight years.
But it's opening day.
I know, but the deal, they just announced their starting quarterback yesterday.
Correct.
And as you guys said in the show last night, Devin Brown, their backup quarterback, is just as good as the starting quarterback. So if he gets in the game, he's just going to keep throwing the ball. They're going to keep pedal on the floor and go. Okay. So Ohio State minus 30 is Alabama is the safer pick, even though they've given 39 points away because they're just going to smoke Middle Tennessee State. But
How dare you talk about my Blue Raiders that way? How dare you?
I'm sorry. They're just going to Alabama to collect a paycheck. That's all they're going there for.
No, you're darn right. That's exactly what they're doing.
So those are the two bets that I have in this weekend. I'll probably have more in as we go on.
Alabama's lucky Kevin Byard still isn't playing safety for him.
Well, I do like Tennessee University of Tennessee over Virginia big this weekend too.
Yes.
So I might.
They put the new turf down in Nissan Stadium. It looks freaking good. They put the checkerboards in. Looks fantastic. I'm super excited about it.
Sam, any final thoughts?
Love you, Dan. Hang in there, bud. I love being on the show with you guys. You're helping me get through the survival mode with this little punk right here. So I'll take it. That's football is right around the corner, and boy, I cannot wait. I've got some new boas, and Nick's going to make fun of them, but we all know he loves me and he loves how I dress. So
he loves me. He loves me not. He loves me.
You know, what was yourself to get up in the morning, Sam? Tanner, any final thoughts here?
Yeah, finally spoke to Dan here after a while. A little chat today. Just happy to hear from him. Kind of working on some stuff for within the network, guys. We're gonna have some changes. This show will stay the same. You'll see me less on a lot of stuff, but it's a good thing because we got a lot of stuff happening. So keep an eye out for stuff as it goes through September. We're gonna have some changes, but it'll be good. It'll be on the positive range. But just happy to hear from Dan and. Keep going, Dan. That's all I gotta say. Keep going.
Nick, you're in trouble. The host of the show may change. So
we feel we're going in a different direction.
It's like ESPN all over.
Well, if that's the case, then
you see what happens every time they make changes. It's always for the fucking worst. Remember that. Now, my final thoughts, guys.
They should never have hired Pat McAfee. That was a horrible.
Oh, well, I mean, that's about the smartest move they made. So, I don't know if Pat's going to enjoy it. That's the thing over there at ESPN. I think he's going
to. The way it's going now, ESPN say after 3 months, see you later, buddy. You're out. We can't.
Yeah, there are plenty of ex-ESPN.
He ain't going to care. His money's guaranteed.
Yeah. He's set.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I think he'll end up regretting that decision, though. Everybody that kind of leaves ESPN says, "Thank God, I'm happier now." So,
I don't think he'll regret it. I think it'll be the other way around, where ESPN regrets having him on because they're not changing much. So
no, he's not going to change, and he's so petty.
He's never changed, even on game day and all that.
Yeah,
right.
So, well, you notice when these people leave ESPN, they write things on the X. And it's really not
on the X
straight out shot at ESPN, but it's like one of those veiled shots, like Sage Steele wrote. Now I can speak my mind. Basically, ESPN really restricts their people.
Go listen to them on podcasts. It's legit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, go ahead, Nick. Close it out, bro.
Florida's 24-11 here. Come on, Florida needs another touchdown.
Come on, baby.
Yep.
Let's go, Florida. We got an opportunity. We got a shot, boys.
You got Florida plus 6, right? You got Florida.
Go back to your swamp.
6.5. 6.5.
Just wait till Rocky Top rocks on you, baby. Just wait for it.
So that's my final thought. Is you guys echo just what you guys kind of said. Is just Dan, continue to get better. I know you're going through some hard times, but we're all going with it together, man. We're all here as one big, ugly, happy family. So we're just no, you're not. So there's that.
We both know different.
We both know you're not. Anyway, so. And let's go, Florida. Come on, get another stop, another touchdown here, and let's win some fucking money. Let's start the college football real season off here right away.
Just get within 4.5.
No, I just want to win some fucking money. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
They don't have to win the game. Let's win some fucking money.
I want them broken, bleeding, dead. You hear me? I want
So
them,
other than
I
that,
want them
we'll be
to-
back Sunday morning. We're going to give our MVP, NFL MVP picks, some future
Don't
picks,
you want me?
and then our MLB power rankings.
When they believe
Our
that you
NFL
won't see me,
MVP,
don't
Offensive
you
Rookie of the Year
want
stuff,
me, baby?
and MLB power
Don't
rankings as
you
well.
want me?
So, check us out, 8 a.m. Sunday
Don't you
morning.
want
Be a friend,
me,
tell a friend.
baby?
Like, subscribe, share. Johnny, hit
Don't
that
you
outro.
want me
Y'all have a good weekend. We'll see you Sunday
now?
morning.
Peace out.
Life better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5, no mean boss. Just my life and free thoughts.
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep on this scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try to change, you can